Today we're making watermelon pizza. So I have my watermelon here. I found these mini watermelons at Trader Joe's. You could also use a big full-size one from Aldi or wherever you like to grocery shop. For fruit, I got strawberries, fresh, so that I can cut them into little circles to look like pepperoni slices. You could also use frozen. I also got frozen blueberries. They're a little bit defrosted. I've had them out for a little while so that they're able to be eaten. But you could do fresh blueberries. You could also use blackberries, raspberries, whatever fruit you want, banana even. So that is really up to you. And you can also use as many fruits as you want. Then I have my Greek yogurt for the base. So this is non-fat, plain Chobani Greek yogurt. It's just in this Tupperware container because the container I had it in wouldn't seal, but it is non-fat plain. And in this little baggie, I have fresh basil that I picked from the garden that I'm growing outside. So if you have a basil plant, pick your own basil and definitely add it to this. It tastes really good like that. And that's all I need. So I'm gonna start by washing my hands. And then I'm just going to wash my strawberries to start with so I don't forget. If you had any other fresh fruit, I would also wash that. You can wash your strawberries right in this thing because it has holes in it, but I don't need all of them, so I'm just going to wash a few. So the first step is going to be to cut the watermelon. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to first cut the watermelon in half the horizontal way, not lengthwise. So I'm gonna take this really sharp knife. Please do not do this without parent supervision. So I have my 2 watermelon halves. And then from there, I'm just going to cut this end off. Again, being really careful. And same to the other one. And I'm just gonna put the ends to the side. So now you have these big circles, and these are your pizza bases. So the recipe calls for 1 inch thick. This is a little bit more than 1 inch. It's not super specific, but that's about. I'm going to take my non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So you could also use low-fat vanilla. You could even use strawberry or another flavor if you like. I would recommend plain or vanilla, like so, onto each slice. And I'm just gonna spread it around the watermelon like you do when you make your own pizza, as if it's pizza sauce. Okay. Sometimes a little bit more than I need. Okay, so there's my sauce on the base. And I'm just gonna put those to the side for a minute so I can cut up the strawberries. So these are my washed strawberries. I'm gonna take this smaller knife and I'm just going to slice off the green slice off the other end, and from this middle, I'm just going to slice it either in half or in 3 slices, depending on how thick it is, to make little strawberry circles. I would recommend doing this with about 4 or 5 strawberries. But you can always use more or less as you want. Okay. So now I have my sliced strawberries. Don't they look like pepperoni? So I'm just gonna take my pepperoni and I'm just going to place it onto the pizza however I want. Spread it out. Okay. So now I have my base, I have my sauce, and I have my pepperoni on each piece. So then I am going to move on to the blueberries. So again, you could do, if you did raspberries or blackberries, I would just put them on as is or cut them in half if they're really big. Same with banana. If you did banana, you could just slice it and put the little slices on. The blueberries are really small, of course. So I'm just going to put those on as is. Fresh or frozen works. Just gonna spread them around. So now I have my strawberries and my blueberries on. Look how pretty. And then for my last step, since I only got 2 kinds of fruit today, is to add the fresh basil. So again, I picked this from the garden outside. You can buy basil fresh if you would like. You can buy a basil plant if you would like, or if you happen to have one. You could also use mint leaves if you're growing mint, or anything like that. But this is also optional. So I'm just going to take some leaves off. They're a little bigger. I'm just going to rip them in half and just sort of garnish it with these leaves. So here is my finished pizza. And then when you're ready to eat it, you can just slice out a piece. So just cut it like a regular pizza. So here is a slice of pizza. Now again, this slice is a little thick, so next time I would just probably cut it a little bit thinner, but that's okay. Ta-da! All right, thank you for watching. I hope you make this and enjoy it.